Hi, you guys. This is Silver Dyer, Rogue Yogi, and this today is my ReBirthday. I died today in 2017, and I thought I'd take you guys into my meditation room. I've never really done that before, and I know you can't see all of it, but there's a whole ton of stuff in here, including a huge pyramid. But what I really wanted to talk about today is that ask any single person in the near-death experience community, and one thing will stick out so prominently, it just can't be denied. And that is the fact that miracles, like Bible-level miracles, are still happening today all around us. I think as a society, we've almost trained ourselves to not acknowledge them as such. And instead, if something goes wrong, it's far easier to kind of blame whatever you might call God. And if something goes well, then maybe we do give that intelligence some props. But in actuality, it's like most of the people who have died and come back can share with you things that are just not possible. When I was like bear crawling backwards up the stairs to my bed the night I died, and my story is pretty intense. My near-death experience had like a lot of layers to it, a lot of different adventures. But when I woke up, I immediately knew I did not need my cane. I sat straight up and I patted it on the head and basically was like, thank you for your service. I knew that I would be able to hop right out of bed. And I did. All of my paralysis and all of my pain was gone. I did not need a cane anymore. I did not need my walker anymore. Nothing. It was as though nothing had ever happened to me and hadn't ever happened to me for like the last several years as I was going downhill. And then on a final note, I went to my blood doctor and I was set to get my blood chelated, which is when your blood has so much iron in it, your body can't handle it, it starts shutting down, and they basically strip your blood of iron in this chelation process. And I went for my appointment that was like just to be the one before we started doing it. And the doctor came out and just looked totally like flabbergasted, and he just said, I don't understand. Your blood is completely clean. And being the completely, absolutely like rabidly excited dork that I am, I was like, oh, I can tell you why that happened, and I did. And he didn't really have an answer for me. He was just like, okay. And he didn't really respond actually, which is like fine. But I was like, yeah, I know why that happened. And then the one thing I want to say, this is so important, and it actually took me, I was like 2 years after this experience when I was able to channel this. I thought that after I merged with, the unnameable, and I was like, yes, I definitely want to return. I have to help raise my kids. They need my input to balance them out with their father. And we had this incredible conversation, no talking, but, an energy exchange, I guess. And after it was over, I kind of got the boot. And then I was booted over to Jesus. And that shocked me to death. I was like, Jesus? Because, like, you know, I'd had a bad experience in church when I was young. And I really kind of shut my ears and eyes to the Bible, not to God, but like Jesus just wasn't on my radar. And then it was funny because I saw him and I was like, I'm like, you're not Jesus. I'm like, you're like rich white people Jesus. I'm like, I know you did not have blue eyes and like sandy blonde hair, like, you know what I'm saying? Like crisp white linens or whatever. And I was thinking that in the time, you know, but I also know that's exactly why I was able to immediately identify him. So there's always a purpose for the way beings choose to appear to us. And a lot of times it's actually hidden in what seems to be like our own voice, or not anthropomorphically at all. I'd say like 90% of the times when I see angels, and I have it all like into a system and a language, but it's rare that they present as, you know, gendered beings with limbs and angels. And wings. More so often they present as like a core, like to the ceiling tall jewel color, and they'll have thin colored bands like around that oval. And I have like several different like synchronicity kind of sub languages to tell all of my stuff apart. But that's one thing that does bother me, is that there are a lot of times when people will say, oh, such and such, you know, like Archangel Michael, you know, his color is like cobalt blue and whatever. And, you know, my entire childhood, I thought I was being followed by the devil because he was actually trying to ground me. I was so afraid, and I'd actually breached my horror line. And he was presenting as the kind of, I guess you could say, like stereotypical color of grounding, which for most people, their root chakras are kind of a dark red. But even that is not accurate, you know? Like some people have like black root chakras, and my root chakra is metallic. But my point is, there's so much wonder in the world. Mysteries are not something like of the bygone era. They're not just stuff that used to happen back in the days of the Bible. But I think it's kind of like exercise. We have to help ourselves kind of first be open to it and let ourselves take in information differently. I think there are so many more miraculous events than we catch and we name as such. And I hope that, like, I would wish that we could all treat that like a little more importantly, because I know it, I can see it, and I channel with all the beings too. It's like no one, absolutely no one, is alone ever at any time. It's only our personalities that can feel that way, you know, but it is not true. And that's one of the most beautiful and comforting things that I can say, like being a born clairvoyant, is like I have the incredible honor of knowing this, even when it feels like the exact opposite.